right, book club. Let's get this read out the way. Monday, October the 9th. Let's go back to our book. All right. Let's get a couple more and then I'm going to let y'all read the rest. Because y'all know I don't be reading all the whole book with y'all. So this is episode 22, 10, 9, 23. And we're going to start at page 53. This is empowering women. All right. 53. Well, we kind of stopped right there, so let me go back over here. Okay, empowering women. There was a part of the article that said to take a hand mirror and put it between your legs so that you could see what your vajayjay looked like. Your Tinkerbell looked like. I never thought there might be anything to look at. I checked the clock. There was still about an hour left before my mom was due home. That was plenty of time to try out this mirror thing. I put all the magazines back in the basket and went searching our little apartment for a hand mirror, to no avail. Clever as I was, I went into the bathroom and realized that the large mirror covered the wall and ended where the bathroom counter began. I could stand on the counter and see my entire little body from head to toe. I had the idea that if I sat up on the counter without my pants faced the mirror, leaned back, and spread my legs, I could get a full view of my Tinkerbell. Okay. I was astounded. It was like a whole universe in there. I remember thinking it reminded me of the moon with its hills and holes and crevices. I stared and poked and prodded until I tired of leaning back on the hard counter. Wow, I thought to myself, so that's a vagina, huh? A pretty fancy thing just to just to pee out of. This is too funny. I had no concept of what it was for others than that. I was fully indifferent to that space between my legs. It was what it was. And if it was supposed to do something special, then mine must have been broken. Where you going in this? This is too cute. She said mine must have been broken. It said it would have a few years before I revisited my pee again. Okay, y'all know the word I'm trying to say. I'm trying to not let them mess my algorithm up. But y'all know the book. Okay, there's your book. All right. I remember my first instance of shame around my pee not long after I had discovered my pee for myself. I was with my mother at a hotel where we were staying at while we traveled for her job. I came out of the bathroom around a shower. Look at here. I came out of the bathroom after a shower and not yet having any qualms about nudity at all. Dropped my towel in front of my mother and began the process of getting ready for bed. My mother had been on the phone with her best friend at the time and scared me to death when she yelled, "What the hell?" She got it in all caps, y'all. What the hell? I turned to look at her, terrified that maybe I had done something wrong or she had seen something that I needed to get away from, like a bug or a mouse. Before I could ask her what was wrong, she announced to me and her friend on the phone, there's hair on your boo boo. She called it a boo boo. She said, was the baby term my mom taught me instead of vagina. But I let her think I didn't know what vagina was. I didn't want to have that conversation. Ooh-wee. And I wasn't sure I was ready to have this one. Hair? Well, yeah, there was hair. I thought nothing of it. I'm a hairy girl. I have hair all over my body, including my chest, feet, fingers, and toes. Wait a minute, y'all. I'm trying not to laugh because this is like I can see the visualization. As an adult, I can see this was probably the onset of the hormonal issue I could encounter just a couple of years later. My mother was freaking out and telling her friend about my pubic hair. Oh my God, that was embarrassing. That dang. Oh my God, y'all don't do that to your little girls. She made me lay down on the bed so she could get a better look and described it to her friend on the phone. Oh my God. Y'all, how long has this been here? She asked urgently. I honestly didn't know. Dang. Oh my God. Now that just ripped my heart out. Like it just showed up one day. I didn't think to mark the date. I'm 8 years old. Oh my God. How was I supposed to know that this was significant? My mother continued examining my body and relaying the information to her friend. Oh my God. Y'all, I'm feeling the pain. Dang. That, whoo. I'm trying to tell you, sis, thank you for the book. That's all I got to say because I know that took a lot to write this book here. Dang. Y'all, am I the only one that felt that stab in the heart? That, wow. Coming from her mother. Dang. Okay, as I lay there waiting for it to be over, I felt my face get hot. I was embarrassed. See, that's what I'm talking about. I was embarrassed. I felt like I had done something wrong. I felt like something was wrong with my body. After that, I tread carefully around other girls my age. I I felt different. Oh my gosh. I felt ashamed of my body. It must have been doing something that none of the other girls' body did. This was the extent of the conversation my mother ever had with me about my body, and this began the resentment of my pee. Woof. My sentiments toward my pee only worsened when I got my first period at 10. On the first day of middle school, of all the days in a teen's girl's life, why did my first period and my first day of middle school have to coincide? My periods were heavy, lasted more than a week, and came with debilitating cramps and nausea. Dang! Woo! Good God. Damn. I felt like my pee was only there to cause me pain, embarrassment, and inconvenience. A couple of years later, the topic of sex came up again. I was interested as I heard my classmates begin to talk about sexual things they had done with other classmates. I had no way of knowing if their stories were true, but it sounded cool. Around this time was the first time I was propositioned for sex. It wasn't the first time I had received sexual attention, as my booty and breasts made their debut in elementary school. Damn. Now, y'all see that? You see that? Who propositioned her? Who propositioned her? Okay, then. Boys did. Men, little boys did. Pay attention to what she's saying, y'all. Pay attention. That's why I teach love, money, and tantra. That's why I talk about what I talk about, because women are not educating their girls properly. No more than keep your legs closed. Don't bring no babies home. You can't do that. That doesn't work in this generation no more. They need the blunt truth, because this here, she's getting proposition on the first day of elementary school for sex. So men, whose fault is that? Whose fault? Oh, her mother's. It's her mother's fault. Okay, I can hear it now. It's her mother's fault for not teaching her. But notice she said her mother, but she didn't say her father. So let's really get it real. Let's get it real. Let's get to it. What's really going on? All right, what's really going on? She didn't say her father was present. Not that he was or wasn't. She said she traveled with her mother, right, on her job. So her mother didn't have nowhere to leave her. Then embarrassed her by talking to her friend about her private parts. Then all of the peer pressure of school, getting talked about sex, right? Getting proposition, and she always had a little booty and little breasts. Wow. But this was the first time a boy had explicitly stated his desire to have sex with me. Sex. She still wasn't clear on the concept. Still wasn't clear on the concept. Still wasn't thrilled with my P. I ignored both the proposition and my P for a while. Longer, until one day I saw a new bold word on the front of one of my mother's magazine, orgasm. Wow. Ooh. Man, this is an elementary child. What what is that? What does that even mean? As luck would have it, I still had plenty of time alone after school, and the magazine article provided step-by-step instructions on how to have an orgasm by yourself in various ways. This girl was very smart. She was very smart for your age. She knew to read. She knew to read, to pick up a magazine and read, because she wanted to learn her body, and she was curious because she wasn't getting it explained. But yet her mother had all the magazine or the material there, instead of talking to her, just had the magazine there. As if a child doesn't plunder, if a child doesn't go looking around. Okay. Okay, there's step-by-step instructions. Okay, in various ways. Though still out of touch with my P, it sounded like a fun thing to try while I had the time and privacy. I decided to try that method that required me to get into the bathtub, lay on my back, and let the water from the faucet crash down over the area I learned was called the clitoris. This was also my first experience clearing the browsing history on the house computer. I had to Google a lot of strange things to figure this one out. Wow. So I did it. No, so I do it. I'm laying there, water running, trying to figure out how I was going to explain my wet hair to my mother, when such an overwhelming feeling of pleasure bubbled up inside me that I thought I was going to explode. Wave after wave of water, incredible energy crashed over my body until I realized I was curled up in the fetal position, half submerged in the tub, and I was out of breath. What just happened? What did my body just do? Was that normal? I had no way of knowing. I assumed that I had experienced my first orgasm. Or, oh, it says, from that day on, I knew I needed way more of that, and often. Still, I had no real connection to my P. I knew how, I knew now what it could do, but I wasn't particularly interested in it otherwise. Dang. Woo! Woo, this is good, y'all. Y'all might want to get this book. The same year I learned to owe would end up being the same year I began to experience sexual abuse at the hands of a male family member. Wow. The year after that would be when I had sex for the first time, and the year that my pee stopped. It had been perfectly regular month after month, and then nothing. In a panic, I told my mother that I hadn't gotten a period. I feared the worst, pregnancy. My mother had no reason to assume this was the reason for my disappearing period, so she scheduled a doctor's appointment for me. You haven't been having sex, have you? Ooh, asked the doctor in front of my mother. Woo! My mother had refused to leave the room during this line of questioning, even at the doctor's request. Dang. I told her I hadn't, as I felt my mother's eyes burning a hole in the side of my face. Ooh. Oh my gosh. The doctor, a tall and broad black woman, announced that she would be conducting a pregnancy test just in case, but that the worst likely cause for my period stopping was PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. She didn't give me too many details about it except that it could only be proven through a checklist of symptoms, one of which is extra hair growth, surprise, surprise, or an ultrasound. It says after checking off almost every symptom on the list, the doctor simply said, well, you will probably just have an irregular period and you can take birth control pills to regulate it. You might have trouble having children later on, but birth control can regulate that too. And with that, the doctor excused herself from the room. I wasn't pregnant, that was good to know, but here I was with a dysfunctional pee, yet another reason to resent this awful mess between my legs. It says, at that point, I remember thinking that all my pee was good for was getting attention, having sex, and having orgasms. It was an object of pleasure outside of myself, not connected to me, but there anyway. I carried this notion throughout my teen years as I used my pee as an object for sex. It wasn't enjoyable. Sex was painful for me, physically and emotionally. My willingness to fulfill the desire of my male classmate and some men much older made me feel worthy and functional outside of myself in a way that I did not feel inside. I still carried the shame that something was wrong with my body, with my pee, that other girls were normal and I wasn't. The shame coupled with the anxiety and depression that comes with PCOS made me disconnect from my body even more. On top of that, realizing in my early teen years that I was attracted to girls more than boys, I felt even more dysfunctional. I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to be touched. I didn't want to be comforted, to be loved, and to be told that I was okay, that I was normal. In an effort to make myself feel better, feel full of something, and to forget all of the anxieties, I began to binge eat in secret, skip school to smoke weed with my friends, and barely slept. Dang. Through high school, I watched myself balloon into a person I didn't recognize. So she must have gained weight. None of my clothes fit anymore. My mother, kind as she is, attributed my ill-fitting fashion to the cheap manufacturers or the dryer shrinking all my clothes. I guess she didn't want to admit that her little girl was quite a big girl. Looking back at my prom pictures, it is surprising that no one said anything to me about my rapid weight gain. Then again, I did grow up in the South, and since there were plenty of girls larger than I was often considered thick and therefore still attractive. No one realized I was trying to hide from them that I still felt broken, that I dealt with anxiety and depression, that having PCOS might meant my body was extremely sensitive to unhealthy foods, that I had been a victim of abuse, and that I was only existing in my head, never in my body. Woo! Do wait. Bag lady, unpack those bags. Dang, the vision I just got, y'all. Dang, let me tell you how deep that little verse right there was. That having PCOS, polycystic, that stuff, meant my body was extremely sensitive to unhealthy foods, right? That I had been a victim of abuse. Remember, because she said older men was coming on to her too, in her family. And that I was only existing in my head, never in my body. Whew. Now, I didn't even have to dissect anything until I got right there, because that is important with today's women out there, existing in their head and not in their body. Now, let's break this down. Venus, the Ankh. Ankh I'm trying to load videos and they take forever. I'm just going to turn it so y'all can see it. See what I drew at the top? Venus and the Ankh, right? There's another one. I don't know if I'm going to get the purple one or the brown one. I'm trying to get something so y'all can see what I'm about to draw. What she just said is so imperative to the women today. The womb. That's the womb. But that's also the mind too, right? All is mind, right? And then the body, like I told y'all, is the neck below. So there was a disconnect, right? So there was a disconnect. So what did she really actually say? All right, what did she really actually say there in that little line that's right there on the bottom that I just read, and that one up there on the top? She existed in her mind, not in her body. In her mind, but not in her body. In other words, she let herself go. She stepped into her masculine energy. She was always in her mind, overthinking. That's where that overdrive of masculine women is coming from. She disconnected from her body, and you can see the cross, right? The bejeebus, the cross right there on the Venus part right there, right? The man represents the mind, right? Even though it's a womb, but that's the man representing the mind, right? All is mind. So the logic, she stepped in. The way I'm seeing it is she stepped into her masculine and she let her body go. Now a lot of women will disagree with that. But if she'd have been connected to her body, which the heart chakra, remember the mother is the body, kind of sort of speak. The mother is the body because that's where Cancer ruled. So she disconnected. If you see, I drew a little heart. She disconnected with the love of herself, self-love. Y'all let me know below if y'all get this. She disconnected with her mind and her body got disconnected. And so she just would overeat and not and let her body go. And that's what you see a lot of women do today, which show and that shows. And yeah, y'all can say it could be hereditary. I'm not even going into that part. That's something totally different. I'm talking about she got PCOS, and I'm talking about the disconnect she made with what I just read before that, with her connect to her P, right? And how she felt, and then the molestation. I'm assuming that what that was with the family member hitting on her or whatever, and then using her body for sex, and then her mom not really being there to teach her. She's learning it on her own, and that's where the promiscuousness came in at, because she been left alone for a little short time. That go to show you children don't need but a little short time to get into trouble. All right. And then her mama not paying attention to her. She's gaining all this weight. And the mom is not like, nothing wrong with you, but she knew she had the PCOS because she took her to the doctor. So you see how not paying attention to your children and things get out of portion. So now she's growing up with this lack of self-love at an early age. I don't even think she's out of high school yet, from what this sounds like. So she always down south, they thought big was good, right? But that was a PCS well developing her into like a woman. She was, boobies and bust. It's the hormone. It's everything. It's a lot of social engineering, but I'm just trying to stick to that part where she said I felt disconnected from my body. So that means I don't care what the bottom half look like. I'm gonna let it go and I'm gonna feed. Remember, she was binge eating. So that's where it started at, with all of that stuff toppled on that anxiety and that depression from the PCOS. She disconnected from her body. She felt no self-love. Well, that's the mother. That was her mother. So she's disconnected. So if y'all don't think that a mother's love with a daughter hasn't anything to do with it, and vice versa, and a father with a son, and then a mother with a son, and then a father with a daughter, that is proof right there. So she stepped into her masculine because she wasn't mothering to herself, which means she didn't care about herself enough to take care of her body. She let her body go and just gain all this weight, unhealthy weight from all them what? Sensitive to unhealthy foods. So she was just feeding her face. You see what I'm saying? That's what I want y'all to see, because see, some of this stuff is because of y'all having unhealed trauma and her mother embarrassing her at a very early age, which suppressed it and shut down. And her mother probably to this day, she might know by now, because she seems like she's healed. To write this book, she have to be healed, because she wouldn't have pulled this out, out of herself. So I wonder if her mother even knows, if now her mama can see what she's done to her. That is like, good Lord, like good Lord. I'm telling you, the things we go through, like, and this is for men too with their mothers, or men too with their fathers. So you can put it where you need to put it. But this is deep. This is really deep that she wrote this book, because it's a lot of women out there that can relate to this very thing. You didn't have the mother's love. You didn't care about your bodies. You wasn't taught self-love. Your mother was disconnected to you, didn't nurture you, didn't talk to you about boys. And first thing you know, she's staring upside your head in the doctor's office talking about you better not be pregnant because she want to kill her. But what were you doing? You had magazines out. You had this. You left her by herself for a small period of time. That's all you need for a little boy and a little girl to get together and start hunching. You see what I'm saying? So again, and the changes in her body, she didn't even question to talk to her. If she knew she had boobs and booty at an early age, and a daughter's developing at a rapid speed, and a mother still don't talk to the girl, something's up. Something that is an unhealed mother. Because why aren't you talking about, men are going to approach that little girl because she has a grown body, right? She has the figure, she got the shape, and men are going to be enticed by it, or little boys at school are going to be enticed by it. So I don't feel like she got the really attention, and that's where the disconnect from the mother come from. Because remember, the mother is Cancer, which is the heart chakra. All right? So she was detached from her mother, and the mind being spirit, and the body down there being the flesh. So spirit and flesh, the spiritual and the material world. So she was disconnected from herself. So I that's why I wanted y'all to kind of see on your own and then put your own interpretation of it too. But I just wanted to explain it because you see, I normally do it, but I hadn't got to no point that, okay, I needed to go a little bit deeper, all right, with that subject right there yet. It was not long after this that I found myself on a path that would lead me back to my divinity. I had no idea at the time, but I would spend the next decade falling into an intimate communion with the universe, getting to the root cause of my physical emotional state. Yep, she did good. And realized just how out of touch my body and I became. See, I had to do I had to do the work of unpacking all of the reasons why I had secluded myself into my head and covered myself with this protective layer called the ego, right? The ego protects us until we're ready. It's how we show up in the world, how the world sees us. I had to come to the understanding of where my womanly power truly came from, and that in order to embrace the power, I had to reconnect with the epic center of my being. Woo, 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 woo. Woo. You are not alone. I described my first part of my story here so that you might see some of yourself in it. I want you to know that you are not alone in the things you did not know or the habits you may have had before you learned better. If part of my past is your current reality, I hope that you do not feel exposed, but rather in good company. Woo! This may trigger some of y'all. The state of RP is usually a reflection of our mental and emotional condition and our physical actions. When we are living well and honoring and respecting ourselves, speaking truth to our experience and healing as necessary, we can be vessels of creativity, beauty, strength, and power. When we ignore the P and all of her experiences, traumas, and cries for attention, we can often link that to the most onset of illnesses, both physical and mental. So again, in the state of RP is usually the state of RP is usually the reflection of our mental emotional condition and our physical. Okay, diseases, STZ to STDs, right? STDs, right? Back bacterial vaginosis from sleeping with, men, too many different women's semen's interacting with yours or whatever, men not cleaning their little scrotums and stuff, tallywands, crusty, busty nut sacks or whatever you want to call it. But you notice the state of our P is usually a reflection of our mental. So women that have smells, they cover it up with a lot of stuff, little feminine stuff, products and stuff. That means that's the mental is unhealthy, the emotional is unhealthy, the physical is unhealthy. So doing all that Vagisil wipes and stuff, that is an internal thing that is coming from either STDs or sexual relationships, or it's coming from unhealthy eating and drinking, okay? And drinking. So women have to look at what they are mostly taking into, what they're taking in their bodies, and it's coming out through the body. It's coming out through the lymph nodes, the glands, the orifices, meaning the holes, right, in the body. Normally the vajayjay. So what she's talking about, any smells, any unnatural odors or discharge that could be thick or cheesy or what you call yeast, candida, or bladder infections and things like that. So they're not taking care of their mental, emotional, and physical. Could it be to some of what she described? Yes. It could be towards some of what she described, but it's different for every woman. But you see the close connection with the P, the mental, the emotional, and the physical that she just drew. So if a woman takes care of her body and her hygiene and her physical, then normally her vajayjay would be healthy. Pretty much seems like what she's saying, right? Y'all see the connection? So how you can tell unhealthy women? Because men can tell women if they go down there and you stink, you're unhealthy. You're not taking care of your insides, and then vice versa with the women. If you go down there sniffing on the man and he stink, you don't let him in there because he ain't washing those parts down there, and he can give you an infection or he can give you bacterial vaginosis. He could have just slept with another woman, and now her flora and your flora and his flora and your flora and your good bacteria kick up to try to get rid of the bad bacteria, because the vagina is a self-cleaning organism. It knows how to clean itself when something foreign has been put in it, and that smell is letting you know that something is not right, that's abnormal. It ain't supposed to be in there. So it's overpowering the good bacteria, and the smell comes from it being unnatural. So it will behoove a lot of y'all women to know your pee. And if, like she's like one girl said, put your finger down there, sniff, put your finger down there. Even you ought to know what your draw smell like. You ought to know what it smell like down there, period. And surely if you can't put it in your mouth, you know something wrong down there. You ever, I'm gonna get a little gruesome here. You ever have intercourse with a man and a man put his finger down there and put his finger in your mouth? That's how they test. That's how they test. If you lick it, if you take it, then okay, maybe I can. Okay, you may not even cringe. You might not even think nothing wrong down there, because a lot of women don't even pay that attention because they're just that nasty. But if you know it ain't nothing wrong down there, you should know your smell, because everybody should know their natural smell, so you can know when something is abnormally with your body, going on abnormal with your body. And it sounds gruesome, but that's how you learn your bodies. That's how you learn, okay, this person gave me something because I was fine until I slept with this person. That's how y'all know. You don't just ignore it, the smell, and just blame it on something. You know who you slept with the day before, and you know what you ate the day before. And most times, you probably ate that stuff more than once, so it ain't that. It's coming from whoever you slept with and whoever they slept with, which is why the abstinence part, or the celibate, or not just sleeping with everybody that you go out on a date with, sleeping with them at first, because you need to learn these people. Y'all need to see how these people act and what they believe and what are their values and morals, and if they got any type of respect for their own bodies. That's why. But y'all don't hear that though. Y'all want some other shit. But anywho, let's get on back to it. I appreciate this sister or whoever this is. I appreciate them for writing this book, because this is good. This is, I know that's a lot of people's story. When she said you are not alone, I know it is. I know it is, because you can just look at society today and look at the care of a woman's body, and how many people care for their body, and then how many people let their body go. And yes, some things could be hormonal, because we go through premenopause. We go to, like my age, premenopausal, or menopausal, and the hormones are trying to fluctuate and deviate, which means we got to step up the exercise, or we got to step up the herbals that balance out the things. And then you got the ones that's young, like her. You just go to eating and binge eating because you're disconnected from whoever made you feel bad, or whoever broke your heart. You're disconnected from your body, so then you put on these extra weight and pounds in places that you normally wouldn't eat. It's just because you're trying to cover up and mask. So let's just get real and call it what it is. And then a lot of it is people's lack of exercise, being lazy, being complacent. And that's really what it is. We cannot blame it all on, oh, it's hereditary. Hereditary, my ass. The only thing that hereditary really stands for is a lazy motherfucker, period. It means you got a bad habit of sitting on your ass. You got a bad habit of not exercising, or even just going for a fucking walk. You just eat and sleep, eat and lounge around, eat and get in a recliner, right? And that's what gains weight, or lack of sleep makes you gain weight. And I'm a nurse, so I know. So it's the lack of sleep, the imbalance of the body will make you gain weight. When you're not going to sleep at the proper times, and get enough sleep will make you gain weight alone. Like for people that work night shift, a lot of them can gain weight. Yeah, it can have something to do with your metabolism. If your metabolism is sluggish, well, again, go back to what you're putting in your mouth. Are you putting foods in your mouth that deprive the energy, exhaust the energy, or give you energy? So either way, we still got some responsibility or some control is what I'm saying. So we can't blame it on a lot of stuff hereditary. Hereditary meaning you just have a bad habit and you haven't broke the bad habit. Or like she said, you haven't unpacked the trauma that's causing you to store that energy and gain that weight. Right? Because those energies that's blocked, those centers that's blocked, those chakra centers that's blocked, you gonna house that trauma in that area, right? You gonna house the trauma if it's not doing nothing with y'all eating and drinking, y'all vegetarian or vegan, and we've seen healthy fat vegans, we've seen overweight vegans. Well, that's because they compensate with tofu and pasta, and rice, and that is sugar. You see what I'm saying? So they may not do meat, but they doing sugar still, or they doing potatoes. They trying to get that substance, something to stick, right? Because we used to having a hearty meal, something that lasts longer, not something that vanishes in like 30 days, like in 30 minutes. You see what I'm saying? We back hungry again. So that's why sometimes you can see those healthy, thin vegans, or you might see some overweight vegans because they overcompensate because they still want to eat. They still want something hearty and lasting, something that like a meat, but they not eating meat. So it depends on what they're eating or if they're juicing, right? So again, and the exercise, are they getting up into the cardio, fat burning heart rhythm so that they can burn that fat, the stubborn pieces, the stubborn places, because everybody's structure is made up different. You're going to store fat in different areas depending on your makeup. That's why that book is Eat for Your Blood Type and Eat to Live, by Muhammad, Prophet Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad. Eat to live, don't live to eat, right? But your blood type got something to do with it because some people say we're not supposed to eat certain foods according to our blood type, but you got to know your blood type too. So yeah, we can look at a lot of dispositions when it comes to why we gain weight, but some of this stuff, like she's saying, is we can control it. We don't have to let ourselves go, and if we let ourselves go, she went on a journey to get herself back in balance within, and that's what's most important. So when we, back to reading, when we are living well, honoring and respecting ourselves, speaking truth. Okay, we already read that. When we ignore the P and all of her experiences, trauma, cries, and for attention, we often link that one to the onset of illness, both physical and mental. So if she's disconnected, then there's something physical or mental going on with that woman. And that's why we have a mental health wellness crisis in in the world. All we can do is start from where we are. So just start from where y'all are. And this is just to bring attention. It may trigger some of y'all, but hey, just start from where you are and do better now that you know better. Do not be afraid to acknowledge your ignorance. Yeah, we all didn't know certain stuff, you know, or we had like mothers, like her mother, that didn't really explain womanhood, didn't explain puberty, adolescence, right? You made decisions or mistakes based on what you understood at the time. And that's a given. That's where they get, you did the best you could with what you had or what you know, right? But the thing is, once you do know and grow, then you do better. It's the part that people aren't doing better. That's the part. Be gentle with your unpacking pain so that you can grow. So again, forgive yourself, extend that grace, right? And that forgiveness. I didn't know. I did the best what I could. I know now. So now I'm gonna make better what? Decisions, better choices, right? Going forward from where you are, not looking back in the past and saying, oh, I was this. No, 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 no. That's already gone, right? You got to look at today and move forward, y'all. At a certain point, our P's have a way of leading us to exactly where we need to be in order to find our healing in divine timing. The fact that you are here means that your P is calling for your attention. Let her lead you to your reconciliation and reclamation of your pleasure. Wow. And that's why I disconnect. That's why a lot of people can be promiscuous and go out there and be dominating like a man and not be connected to their peace or their pleasure because of what they've been raped or robbed of, right? and or made fun of as a child, or in puberty, or in school, by under peer pressure, to fit in, to be, like the other girls having sex, or the other boys having sex, right? Damn, this book is off the fucking chain. And we just got the three. Y'all gonna have to read this on your own. This I love this book. So it got pleasure principles right here. The way you the way that we have been taught about ourselves, our bodies, and our sexuality stem from historical trauma. We all need to do over in comprehensive sexuality education. I've been said that. I said we need to be taught all over again, because we were not really taught back in the day. All we were told, don't mess with them boys, keep your legs go, don't let anybody touch you, da da da. No sex education was taught. None. None. Even today it's messed up the way they teach them in school, in elementary, between the first, second, and third grade. Even that little film that we signed for them to see, that ain't even teaching them. It says, start where you are and be patient with yourself. The state of your pee is usually a reflection of your mental and emotional condition and our physical actions. Boy, I love that one right there, because that is so freaking true. Get what she's saying. That is, man, because that's gonna let you know if a woman promiscuous, her state, her mental state, her alertness, her emotional attachment to her heart chakra, to herself. Remember, it's the mind, it's the womb, it's the gut, right? And they're all connected. Intuition, right? And then you got the intuition, and then you got the instinct, right? So look at that. That's three-dimensional, if you want to say it. The mind, the womb, and the gut, right? The state of the mind usually is a reflection of the mental, the emotional, the heart, right? Because you got the heart in there. You got the womb and the gut. So really four when you put the gut. Because the heart and the womb, you got the mind, the heart, and the womb, right? But then you got the gut too. So, and then our physical actions. So what you're going to do, whether you are intentional, purposeful, whether you can listen to your intuition, whether you can be guided by your instinct, or whether there's a blockage there. And that's why a lot of women are not intuitive, because of the blockage, the unhealthy state of their emotion and their mental condition, which leading to that physical action of being promiscuous, of being, not being in the masculine energy, not being in tune or in harmony with their divine feminine self. Oh my God, this sister hit this shit on the nail, whoever this is. Your pee will lead you to exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. Y'all. Oh, oh my God, I want to keep going, but it's already an hour. 16, what number is this? 68. Dang, I'm gonna finish this on my own, but y'all need to finish this book, or y'all need to get this book. This book is gonna help a lot of y'all. Even give it to your daughters, or if they're old enough, explain it, read it with them. It's this book. I like to empower women, and I like for us to get back to putting ourselves first, not masquerading it, not covering it up with all this makeup and all this stuff to think that's feminine energy. And no, it's not, because a lot of people wear too much of that shit, and that ain't doing nothing but covering it up, because that's what it's meant to do. All right. That the detachment, and that's what she was talking about, being detached from who you are at the core. Now, if you attach to yourself and you know yourself with all that on there, cool, fine and dandy, but it's gonna show either way it go, and men are gonna pick up on it either way it go. And the fact that you attract men like that tells you the state is healthy. Okay, that's all I want to know. That's all I want to know, because people are hiding this, what I just circled right here. They're hiding it. They're masking it. You can put as much perfume you on. You can put as many baby wipes down there, and douches and sprays and feminine sprays, that still does not cover up the emotional and the mental condition and the physical condition of that woman. I said that at 49, that's 13. Condensed down to 44, condensed down to 8. Damn. All right. So again, Reclamation is the 3rd chapter. I love this book. Oh my God. I love it. I love it. I love it. Book club. So I want to finish up and go to, and she even got herbs in here that you can take to balance out your, I'm going to skip around, to balance, so positive, some P positive herbs. So some herbs that are very good for doing steams. And remember, I do yoni steam, so I got a playlist where I did a yoni steam, where I show my yoni steam that I made, that I, pieced together. You can buy them though, all right, to steam the vajayjay, drinking them and then going from the outside. Please do your own research before using these herbs, or consult an experienced herbalist before consuming, steaming, or bathing in these herbs. Some of these herbs can be dangerous, even lethal, if prepared, measured, or consumed incorrectly. So that's her disclaimer. Listen, here are the herbs that are beneficial to the vagina and reproductive system. All right, this list is not exhaustive. So I'm going to name out some. And again, check with your doctor. That's my disclaimer as well. So seek medical profession, or like I said, a certified herbalist. Hopefully somebody that got over 10 years will be better, because some of these new ones, they don't know what the older ones know that have been proven to work. They just grab at stuff to just get business and not really go into the anatomy of the person and the history of the person. And some herbs you cannot mix with man-made prescriptions. So y'all go with people that y'all know have been practicing these herbals, or you've been doing them yourself, like I do. I do them myself because I've been doing them for a minute here. So basil is one, fresh or whatever, dried leaves. Black collage, calendula, marigold, cinnamon, chamomile, dahlia, dandelion, donquoy, juniper, lavender, lemon balm, maca root, marshmallow root, and mint. All right. Moringa, mother's wort, mugwort, nettle, nutmeg, outstraw, oregano, fresh or dried, peppermint, plantain, red clover, red raspberry leaf, red rose petals, rosemary, sage, slippery elm, witch hazel, and yarrow. Red clover and chaparral is one too, because that's the two I use. And then it said coochie comforting crystals. Like, these are like the yoni eggs, and I got those too. The yoni eggs. I used to have some. Matter of fact, I got one sitting over there, but it's not. I don't know if y'all seen the yoni eggs before. Right here, they look like this. This is not one you put inside the vajayjay to do your Kegel exercises with. But I told y'all the story where one got stuck and lost up in there somewhere, and I had a hard time getting that booger out, because I was like, where the hell did it go? I'm about to go to the ER. Because I was doing Kegel exercises, right? I was doing a healing thing, and I had laid down in the bed, went to sleep with that booger in there. Because, you can sleep with them. Some people don't like to, but you can. It'll eventually come out. You just got to do a birthing squat. That's what I had to do to get it to come out. It was a birth, because I went to feel it, and I couldn't feel nothing. I was like, oh, my Lord, I'm going to have to go up in here. My little coochie done sucked it up. Y'all, I was like freaking out. I was like, oh, my God, I'm about to go to the ER. This is going to be so embarrassing. I'm going to be like, oh, I got an egg stuck up in there. But anyway, this is one more for decoration. This is not one that you put up in there, okay? So that's what they look like, and they come in small, medium, and large. And I would go with the small and the medium if I was the women, unless you just got a, a huge whatever, right? And you can't get the sphincter muscle, right? You want to tighten up your vajayjay, keep it tight, keep it right. Okay, I'm just my motto, right? So again, the vibration of the crystal does something to the yoni, all right? And it helps people that cannot, they got to have something to get that clench. They don't know how to sit down. and do Kegels sitting down in a chair like I'm doing them now, because we just know how to do it because we teach, in nursing people that need to know how to do it. We've taught on that. So look up Kegel exercises, but this is definitely a means to get Kegel exercise because you're gonna be and it tightens the uterus, pulls everything up. You know what I'm saying? And it just really strengthens your core. So some crystals for that here are listed here are crystals whose properties align with the divine feminine healing and releasing of trauma, increasing feminine and sexual energy. This list too here is not exhaustive, so you can find different ones. Just make sure they can be wet, because remember your flora is going to be on it, and you don't want it disseminating. You don't do selenite. You don't put selenite in water. Like I got a selenite egg in the back, but that's more, like I said, of decoration, not for me to put in my thing, because selenite is going to shred. So you can't put selenite in there, just like you can't put it in water. All right. So I had a fluorite one, and I had a red jasper one, 555 on the clock. Uh, but like I said, this is like a cherry blossom. That's not one for that. That's not. I think that's like a Chinese cherry blossom thing or something. All of these crystals can be found in egg shapes, but only some of them are safe to insert in the vajayjay. That's what I just said. Do not do your due diligence to learn about the safety of the yoni egg and which should be used for that purpose. All right, you don't use it for nothing else. If you're using it for Kegels, then use it for Kegels. Don't use it for nothing else. And I used to put mine out in the sun and charge it just like with the rest of my crystals. The ones when I used to do the yoni eggs and stuff, I used to put them out in the sun, charge them. You can charge them under the moon and then put them, insert them, and again, they do what they do. Okay, if in doubt, simply hold them in your hand or rest them on the palm of any area you want to focus on. Crystals should be cleansed regularly and charged with the desired intention before you use it. You can do amethyst, amber, aquamarine, aventurine, clear quartz, fluorite, that's what I had, jade, you can do jade, moonstone, opal, red carnelian, uh, rose quartz, smoky quartz, solidite, and unakite is what she got. But you can do other ones too, of course. But that's the one she must have been working with. Yummy yoni foods. All right, these foods in your diet can improve fertility, lubrication, and pH balance. These foods are not cure-alls, but should be consumed in addition to your lifestyle change as you intentionally reconnect with and care for your pee. Do more on your own research on the vitamins and minerals your pee needs to optimum health and which foods contain them. As a general rule, all fruits and vegetables should be staples in your diet, as well as copious amounts of water. You know, keeping it flush, keeping, water in our bodies, in our earth, keeping us grounded and keeping the toxins. That thing just now loaded. Keeping the toxins uh, flushed. Almonds, apple, avocado, banana, berries. And you'll see me eat all almonds, apple. You'll see me do the bananas, the berries. I love broccoli. Carrots I don't do because of Dr. Sabi's diet. It being a hybrid, I don't really do that. Chia seeds I tried. I don't really do that either. I used to do hemp seeds and chia seeds with oatmeal, but I don't do oatmeal anymore when I would do the little breakfast. Cranberries, no added sugar. I do cranberry. I do the pure concentrated. Matter of fact, I just bought the little round cranberries yesterday from Walmart, and I'm freezing one bag, and I'm eating on the other one. Cucumber, dark chocolate, right? Dark leafy green vegetables, flaxseed. They say not the flaxseed now because it keeps. I use dandelion instead of flaxseed. Flaxseed can constipate you if you don't drink enough water. So y'all got to be careful with that flaxseed. We need fiber, but you can get that from your whole grains and nuts too. Your walnuts, your almonds, and your maybe pistachios and stuff like that. So I don't really mess with flaxseed no more. I used to put it in yogurt to give me that the fiber. I try to find it somewhere else because if you don't drink enough water, you're gonna have a clunk of poo poo. You're gonna be constipated. And I ain't trying to be constipated. So I take dandelion when I need to. Garlic, ginger, grapefruit, hemp seeds. I can do that. Honeydew, do that. Lemon, do that. Lime, do that. All right. And then you got mango, okra, do that. Oh, mango, yes. Olive oil, yes. Avocado oil, yes. She don't have avocado oil on there. I'm saying avocado oil because I use avocado oil. All right. Oranges, yeah. Papaya, don't like it. But I did make the black pepper out of the papaya before. Like Dr. Sabi, from Dr. Sabi group, making black pepper that way because it kills over 100 parasites, the seeds. Peaches, do that. Peppers, love that. Pineapple, love that. Probiotics, do that. Pumpkin seeds, yeah, I have from time to time. Quinoa or quinoa, whatever y'all call that. Substituting for rice, right? Salmon, I love that. I'm going to definitely have that. Matter of fact, I need to have some today. And then sunflower seeds, of course, sweet potato. I had one the other day. Walnuts and watermelon. So those are some good ones for the vajayjay. Okay, how to talk about sex. I'm skipping around. I need to read some more, but I'm not. Sex, magic, and manifesting. Oh, we might have to go to that one. Hold on. Let me read about. Let me put that. We might have to go ahead and go to that one too. All right. Y'all may want to get this book. Having a conversation about fried eggs, I call it, can be awkward, but it doesn't have to be. Here are some tips that can help you have the discussion with your partner in a way that is productive and fun. Channel your former high school self. Write letters to each other about what you like and want. Complete with silly doodles and hearts with your initials in the middle. Remember how we used to write all them love letters in school? That's what she's talking about. Have a conversation in a place that you typically wouldn't talk about such things. The pressure is off since you're not in bed at that moment, and the taboo nature of it all can be arousing. So go out to dinner and talk about it, because then there's no pressure. But when you're laying in bed talking about what you want, there's pressure. All right, so do it outside of the house, basically. Make flashcards with sentence starters like I like, I don't like, when I'm in the mood, it looks like, when I'm not in the mood, it looks like, when I want you to keep going, I'll say, when I want you to stop, I'll say, it's toy. I'm standing up, y'all, excuse me. That turns choosing a card and both of you complete the sentence out loud with what makes the sentence true for you. Share the notebook between you and your partner. Write down the things you want your partner to know and leave it there, and leave it where they'll know to look for it. They should then read it on their own time away from you and respond to what you wrote and write their own desires in a notebook. Then you will go back to read their writing and respond back. Dialogue, healthy dialogue. I like it. This can help relieve the pressure of having to respond in the moment and give you both time to think about what you want to say. Explore foreplay as a way of experiencing all-day arousal and pleasure leading up to the big event with your partner. See, people don't date and people don't do the little in between, because really the encounter should not even take long if you've done all this, what she's saying, leading up to the big event. Know how to stroke their fancy during the day. I miss you, and getting them aroused throughout the day. Then you don't have to be in bed trying to struggle with it. You know what I'm saying? It won't take all that because she'll be aroused and ready. But that's what the priming is. You got to prime the unk. You got to prime the womb. You got to prime the woman. And if you're not going to take that time to prime the woman, you're just an inconsiderate, lazy man. and you don't know the value of your woman. And for her to let you do that, she don't know the value either, because she's being dissatisfied sexually, which in other words will lead to what, ladies and men? Cheating, infidelity. There you have it. Now, don't say I didn't help you. All right, with your partner. Okay, so all of that. And keep in mind that sexual interest and pleasure is stifled by stress. What can you do to make sure you and your partner come to bed stress-free and ready to play? Woo, start a pee prayer book club. Boy, I need to start a pussy prayer book club. Shit. Boy, do we need to start one. I might have to start one, y'all. Who want to join? Let me know. I can do it in the membership in the exclusive, okay? We can start start a pussy prayer book club. Starting a book club with your sister circle and other supporters and like-minded groups of women can help you work through the concept outlined throughout this book. In this section, you will find the discussion points, activities for each chapter, and suggest reading for further study. You can choose to read through the chapter together or to come to the book club session having already read. The ideas outlined, y'all would have to get the book. The ideas lined here are just a starting point. Feel free to create your own discussion and activities around the concept of the book. Oh, I think we're going to have to start a pussy club. Pussy prayer club. Oh, Lord, let me see how she got this thing going. Okay, session 1, history and context. Chapter 1, start here, opening. Have each person share what they hope to understand or solve by reading this book. Set the intention for the collector to receive all that they need and be led to their highest good through the collective study of this book. Discussion questions. What word do you prefer to use to describe your vagina? Do certain words elicit a negative response from you, and why? Have you treated yourself like holy ground? Why or why not? And y'all know that's why I say the holy grail is the ace of wand and the ace of cup, because that's balance of the feminine and masculine. So just like how we can be inconsiderate about our parts, men do the same thing, right? They can feel incompetent compared to in the locker rooms and in their little things they do. So men could need one for them too. Final reflection. Has anything surprised you, brought up emotions, or made you think in this chapter? Share with the group. Homework. Reflect on the possible traumas the women in your family endured that affected the way that they approach or ignore topics of womanhood and sexuality. Y'all, look at here. We're going to have to start a pussy club. Oh, Lord, I'm saying that out loud. Oh, Lord. I'm all. We're gonna have to do this in the exclusive. We're gonna have to do this in the exclusive. I may do that, and y'all. Well, I guess y'all can chime down, or we may even do it on Zoom. Maybe I don't know how we can do it online. I have to figure it out unless I put it in exclusive. But whoever joins will see it, and I don't want men in there faking. So I don't know how we're gonna do it, but well, maybe not. Maybe y'all can just do it with people around y'all as an exercise. A group of girls, y'all go out and y'all get this book and y'all go to dinner, and then y'all talk about it and meet up like that on a weekly basis, or just whenever y'all decide, twice a month or something. Give everybody time. Y'all need to get the book. I think the book is beautiful. And then there's another section, reclamation, and then there's everyday. And then there's better sex. It's different. She gives you different exercises, which is good to getting around that healing part. Let's go in here to sex magic, because we hear a lot about that. You can treat your vajayjay, the facials, the same way you would use your face in order to soothe and tone the skin on the vulva and avoid blemishes and irritations. And we already see that commercial that go around that move those spots between the thighs, that little commercial. I'm so sick of that commercial. Because I'm like, well, goddamn, how many times I got to see this damn thing? It says, if you remove hair from your pee, You must be diligent about caring for the skin there. Okay, so that's when it said you can treat your pee to facials. It says the best products to use here plant-based and from the earth, like clay, like that bark clay, made with herbs and ingredients you recognize. Wear cotton panties if you choose. At the very least, make sure your panties you wear have cotton in the liner. I mean, in the area that touches the vagina opening, not that polyester crap, because that will give you yeast rubbing up and all that stuff. So cotton, that strip of cotton fabric or whatever, cloth or whatever. You want to let your pee breathe as much as possible. So don't wear those panties to bed if you don't have to. You know what? Yeah, that. I heard a study that's kind of iffy, and it depends if you're sleeping with a person or without a person. I'm assuming because I was reading, excuse me, y'all, I'm stretching because I've been up. Oh, God. That that is true. And there's another thing you got to think about, which is I was reading some article and it was talking about passing gas and sleeping with no underwear on. Because when you fart or you expel flatulence gas, it spews the poop. So this one article or this whatever, if it was a video or article I was listening or reading, it said don't. And remember, you're sleeping with a person, so it's going to spew where on the sheets. So if you're going to do that, you got to make sure your sheets is clean. You're going to have to make sure your linen is clean because you're going to get those particles, and we know you can get diseases from BM, right? But that was just like a side note. So be careful. If you sleep by yourself, it may not matter. But if you're sleeping with another person and y'all happen to fart in your sleep, then that's where that article was talking about. Don't sleep like that. But then with some women, yeah, let it breathe. Don't wear underwear if you don't got to, let it get some air, let it breathe so you don't get yeast infections and moisture build up down there. Beauty in, beauty out. If you want to maintain external beauty, your internal self needs attention as well. Drink plenty of water, teas, and natural juices to keep your skin and organs hydrated. Eat juicy fruits and vegetables at each meal for all your necessary nutrients. Make sure you are going to the bathroom as much as you are eating and drinking. Waste trapped inside your body can manifest as odor, illness, and blemishes on the skin. Okay, so again, outside of that, y'all gotta check your bodies. You gotta make sure you're looking at your bodies for blemishes, for illnesses and odors. That's why I said smelling down there. Again, getting sick often, blemishes, discoloration. Always look at your skin for spots and blemishes. You shouldn't have any. If the inside is healthy, it's going to reflect on the outside, which is why shit, I barely get blemishes unless I done picked a pimple, bust a pimple on my face, or like I said, I had to burn my lip waxing and burnt my lip. That ain't even a blemish. That's me doing some waxing. So your skin should look healthy. It should reflect your inside. You shouldn't see a lot of blemishes if you're healthy on the inside, all right? Now to the sex magic part. Your sexual energy is some of the most powerful energy in the universe. This is the energy that creates worlds. I told y'all that the other day. You create nations, you build nations, and you can destroy nations when I was talking about that sexual topic exchange, right? Make sure y'all go look at that dating advice, that video I did. Yeah, it's a hard truth, but listen, because it definitely is true. We can destroy worlds, nations, create worlds, or we can destroy worlds with our energy, right? Or nations. You can use this energy to attract and manifest everything that you desire. Tapping into this sexual energy at any point in the day or in any situation will give you that much more confidence, and power. You can be aroused by yourself at any given moment. You can have an O at any given moment by yourself. If you want to attract and influence certain people, dip into your pee and dab some of your juicy essence uh, behind your ears or on the places where you would typically put perfume. People will be enormed with you everywhere you go. So that kind of reminds me of Erica Badu when she made the pussy incense. Now we kind of know what she did with them incense when she said that, right? The pheromones that you put. So you dab it here, you dab it here, dab it here, dab it here, behind your ear, right? That's putting your pee juice on you, your pee juice, your not pee, not urine, your your vaginal discharge on you as a perfume, and when it's gonna bring and attract, because men gonna smell it, because dogs can smell the pheromones. Or if it naturally rises, like when you might would say if you're in heat or you feeling aroused, like you're searching, you're calling the alpha, right? So that person's gonna come up to you because they can feel your pheromones, right? They can smell it in the air without you even putting it on there, okay? So again, that's grown folk stuff. People, woo, Lord, if you would like to feel like you have a little secret that no one knows, go without panties or in your fanciest lingerie under the clothes for no other reason than your own pleasure. Ooh. During sex or masturbation before or after orgasm or during orgasm, if you can focus, visualize what you want to manifest and let the sexual energy you have building up bring forth your desire. That's why I told y'all, stop wasting a good fuck with these people. You're not creating nothing, so why are you out there useless fucking? And I'm being blunt on purpose because that's what you're doing. Y'all fucking up your creation. You're destroying your manifestation when you're wasting it on a person that is not going to carry it with you and co-create with you. Then that's what she's talking about. Do it by your damn self. And that's what a lot of people are doing. That's what a lot of women are doing. So a lot of, they're turning to pleasure with themselves, like she was saying with the water thing earlier on, or with toys. All right, trading the boys for the toys, right? Because of the playing and the games and stuff, that women is like, you know what, I don't need that, I can create by my damn self. That's the power they don't want. They don't want you to have that power. They want to own that power. They want to be able to create with the worlds. But that's why I had that talk yesterday. So please, y'all, go back and see that that pop up where I talked about it in the heading, and then I did a whole video on it by itself on sexual exchange, and you'll understand what she's talking about right here. So again, when I say you can either co-create or not with them, they can ruin your co-creation when you give it to somebody that ain't gonna do nothing with it, and that goes both ways for men and women. So I hope y'all can take something from this, and that's why a lot of men jack off. A lot of men ain't really touching women because they doing it too. So you got a lot of men and women out here masturbating. They're not getting in coupled relationships. They're just staying by themselves. Some may be totally abstinent and some may not. I always say celibate is you're not even masturbating. You're not having nothing. Abstinent, you're not having nothing. No toy, no pleasure, no nothing. Your fingers, you just clean, take a bath and get the hell out. You ain't funneling. You ain't feeling, all right? You ain't getting off. So so a lot of people that claim they celibate may mean that they just not dating around or in a relationship with the opposite sex, but they still getting it off. That's what I'm talking about. So that's why I don't like people to throw that word out, because you give people the false thing that, oh, I'm celibate. No, a lot of people are still playing with themselves. They're just disguising it as celibate. And that's why you don't have to announce it, because it ain't none of their damn business, first of all. And that can make people more come after you because they think, oh, well, she ain't had none, let me be the first. Oh, no, fuck that. No, if I want to, I'm going to. And if I don't, I'm not. Period, point blank. You're an adult. Stop announcing y'all shit, because it's not a badge of honor. You should know you should already have self-control. When you're mature, you already have self-control. You don't have to announce shit. The fact that you telling a motherfucker no and you ain't quick to get hold to and get between your legs, that tells you right there. You don't need an announcement. That's not a badge of honor. And I don't get it, but some people just get off on, oh, I'm selling. I ain't had nothing 12 years. And What does that mean? But I bet you've been touching yourself. So again, there it is. So you can try, so to bring forth you can try masturbating while repeating your intentions over and over until you reach the highest state of pleasure. If you really want to challenge yourself when you are at your peak state of turn on, use that arousal to create something physical. Work on a project you've been thinking of, paint or write or sing. I do all that, right? Do whatever has been yearning to be birthed from you. Surround yourself safely with the male energy or male dominant space every now and then to remind yourself of what your sexuality and feminine energy feels like, to see what arouses in you. So, in other words, don't let the masturbation make y'all not want to be around men. That's not what she's implementing here or what she's heading toward, right? Some women take it as, well, I don't need a man, right? I can go this way. That's not what she's hinting at. That's why she says still surround yourself with men. That's why I still surround myself with my masculine energy of men, my brothers, my spiritual brothers, because I have to have that balance. You have to have that balance, okay, with that masculine energy, else you're going to lose touch and see if you're still turned on, if you still, enticed, whatever you want to call it. She said, and feels like, and see what arouses in you. Consider how often you sit with your thighs locked together and crossed, because you've learned in childhood that ladies sit with their legs closed. If your P is your manifestation portal and you consistently keep your constricted and closed off, what do you think that does to your ability to manifest? Oh, let's read that again. Oh, that's a point. Consider how often you sit with your legs locked together or closed, because of learning in childhood that ladies sit with their legs closed. That's that suppression of feminine energy. If your P is your manifestation portal and you consistently keep her constricted and closed off, what do you think that does for your ability to manifest? You're not going to manifest because you're not receiving, you're closed off, right? So sit with your legs open, or walk around nude, or walk around naked in the house, because that's opening her up. That's getting her air. That's not putting restrictive, too tight of clothes on. So loosen up. Maybe wear something loose. Let that inner, like she said, or either go all day with lingerie on, or go all day with no panties on, up under your clothes, and see what that feels like. And if it feels uncomfortable, like saying the word, then you know that there's a blockage there, and that what could be blocking y'all manifestation. So I hope y'all getting it. Tap down there on the screen. Let me know if this is helping y'all. Do y'all find yourself have doing some of the stuff that she says in this book? Because this is bringing that awareness, y'all, so y'all don't have to feel embarrassed or feel hurt because you were hurt by a man, and you don't have to feel closed off and not in tune with your own sexuality. Like she said, disconnected from her body. That's why I stopped to explain that part. So tap down below. Let me know if this is helping. If you're going to get the book, I'll put the link of the books down there, like I said, on Amazon, so y'all can be able to order some of the books. All right, that I have. Uh, it says, practice keeping your legs uncrossed, maintaining modesty as much as you desire, and affirming to your P that you are open to allowing manifestations to be birthed through you. All of these rituals, remember that whatever you think about will manifest in your body and in your physical experience. In the mind, spirit; in the body, physical. So think carefully and immediately turn away from negative or defeating thoughts. Tell a new story. Rewrite your story. Powerful connection. I'm not going to read. Send notes. Send yourself nudes. Well, I ain't nobody finna do all that. But hey, look in the mirror. P, discussion. Cleaning your castle. Okay, that's cleaning it. Okay, maybe I need to read that for those that don't know how to clean themselves very good. brag on your pee. I mean, you can. You can brag to yourself, right? P is P, but it feels different to different men, just like D is D, but it feels different to different women, right? Okay, so do what you will with that. Cleaning your castle. I'm gonna read this. Make sure you are Make sure that your living space is pleasant to you. Anything that is unpleasant to you, remove it. Remember, I always tell y'all to assess the energy. If it's time for something to go, it's time for something to go. You got to detach and not hold on to it for something else positive to come. You got to release something that's old, right? It says remove it or change it as much as possible. Move stuff around, move furniture around, or get rid of old things that you don't value no more or have a sense of usage. Donate it or throw it away. It should bring you pleasure. Whatever's around you should bring you pleasure. You should get fulfillment out of looking at it. And confront and comfort to the step. Let me see. And comfort to step into your space, not anxiety or shame. Organize, decorate, clean, and arrange in a way that feels good to you. That's why I tell y'all my place gotta have feng shui. It has to flow. If it's restricted, I'm pissed. I'm mad, and I'm tearing shit up. Like not tearing shit up, but I'm moving shit. I'm getting rid of shit. I don't care who gave it to me. It's out of there. If it's blocking or it's something that's stagnant, it ain't flowing. Like my feng shui ain't flowing from the front to the back and the back to the front. Oh hell no, it got to go. It got to go because my stuff is strategically placed feng shui to flow and not be restricted and to be happy and pleasing. When I look at every freaking corner, it's happy and pleasing. If it's not, it's getting shit thrown the fuck out. It's going out of there quick, because that's an eyesore and it's gonna block your energy and your flow. And a lot of y'all are hoarding a lot of junk that y'all don't need, and you need to do a thorough cleaning. Winter's coming. If you didn't do it in fall, then you got a chance to do it in winter. I purge and clean like twice a year, if not every season. I'm throwing shit out. I got a little small bag now. Like how much can I throw out? You know what I'm saying? So again, take a look at that. All right, it should feel good to you. Clean out your closets and drawers and only leave the clothes and shoes that make you feel the best when your underwear and your lounge around the house clothes. Open cabinets and drawers and make sure they are organized in a way that makes it easy and pleasant to get to what you need. This is your external sacred space and should be cared for as such. So down to the drawers, down to the organization, down to everything, y'all closet, y'all shoes. If you ain't feeling like $1,000,000, get rid of it. That way, whenever you get ready to put something on, it's always something that is uplifting to the divine feminine. You look good, you feel good, you be good, you'll dress good. All that gonna come together. Let me say it the other way. You look good, you dress good, you'll feel good. You'll respond good to the internal, to the external, to the external, to the internal, right? It'll just be a reflectory of whatever is inside gonna reflect on the outside of your home. That's why a person can tell if you're a happy person or you're mad, because your house will have this warmth, this energy, this nurturing, this home, this good aura about it, because that's what you are inside. So naturally, that's what's gonna be manifesting in your house, right? Around you in your house. So that's why people a lot of times may love your house, may not want to leave your space because it's warm, it's biting, it's nurturing, it's loving. You got a lot of care there, right? You got a lot of care. Good morning, sunshine. I'm opening my curtains. Good morning, I'm coming up over there. I'll see you. It's gonna be a wonderful day. It's gonna be an amazing day. Let's get that window open, get some fresh air while it's cool. And again, so make sure y'all, or like this, I'm not even happy with this. It's time for me to move this around or replant because she's drooping. She got so big, and now I need more dirt. I need another pot that's deeper than this one so it can grow more and fluff back up. It's getting like, it's so droopy now. It used to stand up real tall. So I'm gonna have to move this one, or it's on its way out. And I'll get another one and groom it if I can't revive it. So And that's why I say you gotta always assess what's going on. So she's not happy no more, or he. I forgot what I named it. I named it something and forgot. Uh, but it's not happy no more. So we're gonna have to work on that baby right there. So you gotta take a look at your environment, right? Even though it's some energy, right? So I always clear it out. I could have smoked it out too much too, because I do be saging over here in this corner. Probably put too much sage on it. Oh man. But anywho, uh, I think I'm gonna try to find some dirt and repot and find another pot. I sure got them pots out that dumpster that somebody sat on outside, but I didn't because they were like the outside big pots for the outside. But I should have just grabbed them jokers anyway. But anyway, get the book. That's our book club. I just went all off, didn't I, y'all? But that's all for this book. We'll be getting another book for book club. Be on the lookout. I may get the Please book and see, because she wrote another one called Please. I'll link it below for y'all that want this book to finish it up. I just get us started and y'all finish the rest, because I don't want to be putting the whole book out there, because then I can't monetize. You know what I'm saying? So this is book club. But again, read the rest of it. Read the rest of it. Oh, she got some affirmations up in here. Look at here. Let's get some affirmations. Here is a list of affirmations that you can use within the ritual and whenever you need to affirm your power, your pleasure, and your healing. Feel free to modify them to fit your situation. Memorize them and say them over and over again. Post them where you will see them often or write them repeatedly as a form of meditation. Do the 369 method, the Tesla method, you can too with them. That's why we have affirmations, and we're on almost day 60 out of 90 in the second trimester of them. We do them for 9 months at KAU, and we're on day 58 out of 90 today. That's why, because I was getting y'all used to saying affirmations, because then they become second nature. Choose 1 or 2 phrases to focus on at a time. You really commit them to memory and begin the mental and spiritual process of making them true for you. I am worthy of pleasure. Remember, because these have to do with the womb, and because the womb, the feminine, was suppressed with pleasure and she was disconnected, so these are some that empower you in the wombful way, all right? I am worthy of pleasure. Pleasure is my birthright, and I intend to experience it daily. My life is full of pleasure and ease. Pleasure is available to me at any time. I am committed to my pleasure. I love my pussy, and my pussy loves me. My pussy always guides me towards pleasure. My pussy knows best. I trust her. I have made peace with my past. I am healed on every level. I release all negativity that does not belong to me. I am powerful in pleasure. My pleasure is my priority. I attract lovers who love me well. Ooh, let me read that again. I attract lovers who love me well. Universe, how is it I attract lovers that love me well? Universe, why is it I attract lovers that love me well? Universe, my pleasures is my priority. Universe, my pussy loves me and I love my pussy. My pussy knows best. I trust her. Thank you, universe, and I love you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You see how I just made that my own? Bam! That's what y'all gotta know. But that comes from y'all getting comfortable with affirmations. So whenever you see stuff, these are hers, yeah. But you see how I just translated into my own totality, into my own vibration, into my own speech with the universe, and now the universe gonna find me pleasure, gonna find me a lover to what? Love me well. Because I'm sincere with asking, right? There's no shame, like she said. Where she said that at? I made peace with my past. So when you make peace with your past and you're not ashamed to say the P word, which we learned this in either the first part of the book, she said if you cringe when you say that word, you got healing to do, in other words. Because that's what that restriction is about. That's why some women ain't manifesting, because they're ashamed. You know, they're blaming their past and it's affecting them today. So again, let's get another one. My pleasure is my priority. I attract lovers who love me well. I am in control of my mind and my body, because remember, she was disconnected. All right. I am whole in every way. I am free of other people's expectation of my womanhood. I am a powerful creator and I manifest whatever I wish. I radiate and attract love, peace, and pleasure. Sex is healing and pleasurable for me, because some people don't like to have it because of whatever they experienced in their past that's triggering them, the unpacked inner child, the trauma, the lack of mothering, the lack of fathering, right? I am perfect. I am divine. I am delicious. I attract experiences that make my life juicy. Oh, now that's a wait a minute, girl. Wait a minute. My life. My life. Okay, I'm just saying that was a new one. I attract experiences that make my life juicy. She is life, baby. Make her juicy. He make it rain. Okay, let me stop. Okay. I'm getting excited over him. I experience I experience more pleasure every day. My journey is mine and it is perfect for me. I find the perfect teacher to guide me on my journey. Teachers to guide me on my journey. I am grateful for the freedom and pleasure I experience every day. I find pleasure in ordinary things. I am open to receiving delightful surprises. I have mastery over my mind and body. My life is blooming perfectly. I deserve pleasure in every way. My body is the temple that houses my spirit, and I treat it with reverence and care. I nourish my mind, body, and soul. Ooh, heart and spirit. Let me add that. The more pleasure I experience, the more power I have. I release drama and hardship. They are not mine to hold. My life is good. My life feels good. I communicate well and all my needs are met. I can tap into pleasure whenever I wish. I sleep knowing that I am divinely guided and protected. I overflow with passion, fulfillment, and happiness. My relationships are fun, honest, and intimate. Pleasure is my natural state. I feel powerful in my life right now, even as I strive toward healing. Ooh, y'all. I am so glad that I did not stop reading. I am so glad. I know exactly what to do at every moment. I attract all that I need. I attract only the best. I am proud of myself for what I have survived. I accept myself as I am, and I am excited for how I intend to grow. What? And there's some resources she put in the back in chapter 9. Oh, we did the herbs. Oh, yeah, we just did the herbs. So we did all the herbs and the crystals, and again, the yoni eggs. If y'all want to get the yoni eggs and do some Kegel exercises and things like that, y'all can do that and get some herbs that gear to the health. Get you a yoni steam, thing, and do your yoni steams and drink you some tea. Do some yoga, do some stretching. You can do it on YouTube. There's a lot of free videos. I have some yoga videos out there in my playlist on my YouTube channel. Y'all can go through some of my basic yoga practice videos, or find somebody else to your liking, or whatever you like to do, whether it's Pilates, whether it's Kundalini yoga, Hatha yoga, and things like that. Different. It's like 4, 5, 6 different yogas, I think. So y'all can do that. All right, so hopefully y'all enjoyed this book for book club. We'll get another book for book club. And I'll see y'all at the next book club with the next book. And I will list some books below. All right, so if y'all want this book, I think this will be a good book for teenage girls too. If y'all don't want to talk about them, or if maybe even in their 20s, because by then we've had our experiences with men that have not always, or haven't been the best first pleasurable experience, right? And a lot of women can possibly say that it hasn't been pleasurable, or it was, trauma bonding, right? Or karmic lesson, if you will. So that's a good Christmas gift. I'm just gonna say it. Birthday gift, Christmas gift for women that's sexual active, that that first encounter with boys that's following you the rest of your life is what has you trauma bonding to the wrong men. And if you don't heal that first, how you felt when you first had sex, because that's why I read that too, and you can hear how she felt. She disconnected from her body, so that way she could go out there and be masculine and be promiscuous because she wasn't in her body. So get the book, ladies, for y'all daughters, for your little nieces, men, for your daughters. I don't care. This book is very important. This is very important. I'm grateful for the book. I really am. I appreciate her taking that lesson and putting it so other women can heal and learn from it and grow, or you guys can see how far you have already healed and grow because you're comfortable with the word. It's just YouTube and all these other ones don't like us to say, but yet they can exploit our asses on videos. They can exploit our asses any other kind of way, but when you're teaching empowerment, now they got something to say. But as long as you're degrading, exploiting your body, you out there being a hoe, you out there doing promiscuous things, you on the pole, you half nude and naked, and as long as you're doing that, the social media, the world don't have no issue with it because you're doing it in a condescending way and a degrading way, and they know it. But the minute you step up and empower and take your pussy power back, boy, the bitches got something to say. Boy, do they got something to say. They got something to say, boo. Trust it. Trust it. Because they already marked one of my other videos because of the title. And I had dollar signs and they still marked it. And then I had the picture up like this and they still marked it. So that go to show you they don't want people, they don't want you women, you young girls and teenagers, to be empowered and know your true power. But as long as you shaking your ass and twerking and not motherfucking working, baby, on yourself, then they don't have nothing to say. But that's the weave, the web of the men world that is out there, the egos that are controlling things and manipulating things. It's not serving their agenda for you to step into your power, women, or for your young daughters and nieces and nephews to take, or not, well, not nephews. Well, they can take back theirs too, because stuff happened to boys too, men too. But they don't want you to step into that power, that creative power. They want to keep you in the matrix. So again, take your power back. Step into your power the right way. I hope y'all enjoyed the book club. When did I start? We started on, so this is our third episode with this book. 9-10, 10-3, and 10-9. So you can go find those uploads of me reading the first chapter on, and then I skipped around on this third part, episode 22. Book club, and you'll see a list of all my books we've read so far. Again, I will link it down there in Amazon, a list of books that I have. Y'all can pick out to y'all liking, and I'm gonna be doing another book that empowers women. All right, because it's all about empowering women. It's all about y'all taking back y'all power, not being ashamed of your bodies, not being out of your feminine energy. And so she learned to step back into her feminine energy through this book, because she was in her masculine, which means y'all is disconnected from your thought process, your logical. You could be overcompensating, overcompensating one for the other. All right, so you want to have a good balance of masculine and feminine energy within your body. You don't want it to be overcompensated. All right. So I hope y'all learned something. Peace, love, and harmony. I enjoyed book club. It was extra long, but I wanted to at least get finished with this this book, because it's been the third book club on this book, and I'm not trying to really read it all for y'all, because I want y'all to really read it yourself and see what it means to you and whatever. All right. So peace, love, and harmony. That's book club. Peace.